Today we're going to look at the superclass, in other words, a parent class that we don't instantiate, we extend into another class, a child class, and then we can use that in our um, to instantiate some type of object. So this is kind of adding another level to what we talked about last week, where, if we had really could have four people developing this application and the object, and something like an architect, a builder, the user, and the guy that had the idea. So it had four people. Well, now we're adding another. Maybe we're adding a structural engineer or something like that to our process. Becomes more abstract, in other words. Okay. Any questions on what we're doing, where we're going? Um, so my guess is right now you're going to have this week's assignments and maybe one other program, maybe two. So that shouldn't be too bad. And if you remember, I'm not big on final exams. Your final program that you're going to write, though, will be probably 30 points or something to that effect, I believe. It's a little more abstract, a little more complicated. Might want to think about it a little bit, plan it out, show me your best programming skills, because as I'm going to give 30 point, making major mistakes, like not checking if a number input is correct or something like that, it's going to cost you more than 1 point. Okay. So you're going to want to make sure. And of course, anything that you're gleaning from this is going to help you when you get with Dr. Al-Hashimi and start talking more about abstract data structures, which are created out of other data structures usually. Okay. All right. So if there's no questions and you guys are going to be silent, I will go ahead and share my screen here. Okay, so this is kind of what we got going here. I gave you this one here. It should work. I saw it the other day. He writes this in Eclipse. So just kind of, you can acknowledge that it's Eclipse, but the code is the same. Again, Java code is nothing but a text, plain text. Okay, you can really write it in Notepad if you want to. It just won't correct your errors. So it doesn't, I just happened, somebody asked me the other day, I don't know if it was in this class or not, asked me on why we don't use Eclipse. And it isn't that if I let everybody use what they want, it just makes it so much harder on me. And I'm not trying to be selfish, but I have a lot of people to grade their, if you're talking 2 or 3 programs per person a week. Sometimes I have upwards of 3 programming classes and 3 other classes that I have to check homework for. So that's why the class conventions are set that everything has to be in NetBeans, because I don't have time to take your text file, convert it, or bring it in to create my own. I have to create the program then. All I have is your text. So I have to go in, create that, then put your stuff in it and try and make it work. And that might not seem like, a big deal, but if you add 5 minutes to every program that I have to correct, and early in the semester, I have 100 students. So that, let's say that's even at a minute a program, that's 300 minutes or 5 hours of grading if I only spend a minute on each program. Well, I can't grade your stuff in a minute. I'm not that fast. Excuse me. So anyway, one of the reasons why I use NetBeans is because I'm familiar with it. I think it's a great platform, integrated development environment. You might want to know that IDE, if somebody asks you what an IDE is, That's your integrated development environment. And there's lots of them, depending on what you're coding. And I change, depending on what language I'm using, I pick a different one. Here we have just a little explanation on scope and stuff like that. Remember the this thing we had going. This is a little cartoon here I thought was kind of cute. And this is what we're supposed to do. And this is usually how it ends up. Yeah. And that's true. Again, this happens less over here if you have a good plan. And again, I know a lot of times when you're a student, we don't give you a lot of planning time. Over here, we got Plato's Allegory of the Cave, the Republic. Basically, I don't know if I ever went over this. I don't think I did I? About chairness and what an object is, that kind of thing. But every time I've ever given that speech, I always think of Plato's Allegory of the Cave, which is kind of weird. In Plato's Allegory of the Cave, the humanity is chained together facing a wall in a cave. And behind them is a fire. And then there's objects that are brought across behind them, okay? And then they make up names for the objects. So, you know, maybe they'll hold something up and eventually people say, ooh, that's the chair, or ooh, that's the computer, or ooh, that's a pencil, or whatever, okay? And then, of course, there's the whole, so that's kind of what we do, in that at some point there was an almighty chair, the one that they held up in front of the fire, and we've gotten images of that or instances of it, okay? And so we create instances of the almighty object. So I gave you, this is a cute little, and again, this is the real story behind the Allegory of the Cave here. That isn't what I want.
My name is Jesse Canone.
No, we don't want to know about you, Jesse. So this is a TED Talk.
What is reality? Knowledge? The meaning of life? Big topics you might tackle figuratively, explaining existence as a journey down a road or across an ocean, a climb, a war, a book, a thread, a game, a window of opportunity, or an all too short-lived flicker of flame. 2,400 years ago, one of history's most famous thinkers said life is like being chained up in a cave, forced to watch shadows flitting across a stone wall. Pretty cheery, right? That's actually what Plato suggested in his Allegory of the Cave, found in Book 7 of the Republic, in which the Greek philosopher envisioned the ideal society by examining concepts like justice, truth, and beauty. In the allegory, a group of prisoners have been confined in a cavern since birth, with no knowledge of the outside world. They are chained facing a wall, unable to turn their heads, while a fire behind them gives off a faint light. Occasionally, people pass by the fire carrying figures of animals and other objects that cast shadows on the wall. The prisoners name and classify these illusions, believing they're perceiving actual entities. Suddenly, one prisoner is freed and brought outside for the first time. The sunlight hurts his eyes, and he finds the new environment disorienting. When told that the things around him are real, while the shadows were mere reflections, he cannot believe it. The shadows appeared much clearer to him.
So anyway, that's a little video there. And again, I've stretched, you know, what... Okay, come on. Where's my Zoom at? Oh, there. Jeez. Okay, that's weird. not getting the thing to let you guys. You guys are still there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's bizarre. Hang on. Okay. So we'll go back now. So anyway, that's kind of what this is about. Assignments here, location class. I've actually given you a video on how to do that. And I don't know what this one was here. Here's an additional video about vehicles and cars. Oh, this guy just talks about videos and about vehicles and cars, okay? We're actually going to take a look at this Mrs. Quackenbush Rent-A-Wreck today and try to build part of it at least. This one here isn't too bad. You're going to, depending on what you do, you'll give the user a choice, and it doesn't have to be a 3x3 and a 10x10. You know, you could have 3, 2, 10 or whatever, however you want to do it. Matrix, you should show the matrix and then generate 100 numbers or whatever. I'm sorry. Generate the amount of numbers, and of course 3x3 you generate 9, 10x10 you're generating 100, and then you fill them with numbers between 0 and 99, okay? And then you show the matrix, you identify where the largest number is out of those, okay? And then display the row and column address of where the largest number is located. It's not that hard. Okay, you're generating these numbers, some shortcuts involved. If you really want to be, in other words, I'm not saying that you can do it in two different ways. You can do it, you can identify the largest number while you're generating. Okay, there's a way to do that. Or you can generate the numbers and then go back through the array and identify the largest or maximum number. Shouldn't be that hard for you guys. The second one, a little bit harder in that we're gonna create a super group, I believe. Okay. So let's get to it. All right, so new file, new project, next, and we'll just do Rent-A-Wreck. All right. How did I? Can't type today. That's one thing that's obvious.
Dr. Peterson, I have a small question.
Go ahead, man.
How do I close all the projects on the left-hand side? It's overloading my processor.
Right click, close.
That's it? Okay, gotcha.
That's it. My God, you have all these open?
Embarrassingly enough to guess.
Oh, that's funny. Oh, believe me, I've seen worse, buddy. Don't worry about it. Okay, the funny part here is there is a real Mrs. Quackenbush. She was my grandkid's kindergarten teacher. Okay, that's all I need here for now. I'm going to copy this so we can, I don't have to, actually, I'm just going to copy up to there. And we can go over here. And we need a new Java class next. And we'll just make it vehicles. We can come up here. Change this to vehicles. All right, so now we need things about vehicles. And this is kind of a generic thing we can get. Again, this is our vehicle. We could get very abstract, and we could include bicycles, unicycles, sleds, trucks, cars, semis, motorcycles. So if we think in that mindset, we would have to identify, you know, certain traits that cover all those things. Okay, we'd have to cover all those things. So we could do something like, how do we want to do it? We could do a string name. Oops, I got to put private in front of that. Oh, that's nice, Doug. You just screwed up. Do we want it as private? Sure, why not? Do we want it as just name too? How about manufacturer name? And I got to put string in there. Geez. Something like that, I think. Yeah, I know. And then got cars, bikes. Name, vehicle type, year built. No, let's do this one. Trying to think of a word for what moves it is. I mean, like human power, engine, motor, something like that. Propulsion. Is that what it would be? Manufacturer name, vehicle type, year built. I got one. Or should that be axles? I know one.
Cooper sedan.
Well, but that's really not. What if it's a sled? What if it's a motorcycle? What if it's a bicycle? Or do we want to? I mean, it makes it a lot easier, I guess, if we say we're talking about cars or trucks. Should we do that, or do we want to be more abstract? I guess it is a rental car company. Okay, I'm going to back up then. Instead of this, manufacturer name, I'm going to put let's see, manufacturer name, model. Okay, year built. And then we don't need number of axles really. We can do yeah, we can do int. Cylinders, fill in. Number of cylinders, and year built, number of cylinders, manufacturer model, manufacturer name. What else would we know about? Why is this so? Something else about a car. Let's see.
Number of doors.
Let's do that.
Have we done color yet?
No, we can do that too. And these are a lot. We don't want to do too many. I'm going to do this one. Manual or stick? I mean, manual or automatic? Jeez. So we'll have here. All right. And so then we can have oops. I think that'll work. And we'll come down here. Boy, that's a lot. Well, we'll see how it goes. We may. All right, so then I need my setters and getters here. So I'm going to right click, insert code, setters, getters. Sure, why not? There they all are. Okay. I'm going to indent these. To there. And then I'm going to come in and clean this up a little bit here. We'll just go down our list real quick.
What's the setters and getters shortcut again?
Right click where you want to put it. And then it'll say insert code. And just click on setters and getters. Select vehicle. And hit enter. You find it?
I did. Thank you.
All right. That looks good. And we'll save that. So it's kind of wide open right now what we're going to use out of this even, okay? And that's not bad, you know. If somebody came along and wanted to use our vehicle, they might not want to use all these, but they could use part of them. You know, nothing right now says that we have to fill in all of those. In other words, right now I could create a car and just get the manufacturer's name if I wanted to. Okay. Or I could use as many as I wanted out of the list. So then let's go over here again to file. And again, we want a new file. It's a Java class. I'm going to say next. And I'm going to say, we'll call it our cars, maybe. You think? Or, no, I know. Rentals. And there we go. And I think I still have that in here. I do. So this is rentals. And purpose is a child class to turn vehicles into our rental vehicles to construct backspace that child class to turn vehicles into rental vehicles to construct our fleet, to instantiate our fleet from. All right. And then we're going to have private and things we need. Okay, right here, as I should say, extends vehicles. Well, we might as well pop them in here. So this is our, for right now, anyway. We got a lot of fields. So there's the basic rough in of your vehicles, and then the vehicles that you're going to rent or what fields you need. So this extends vehicles. So now we not only have all these attributes, but we have also all these attributes that we could use. Okay. Let's see if we can hit this thing on the first. Let's see if I can create something here. Let's see here. So if I do, what the hell did I call those? Rentals. My cars is equal to new rentals. And I don't have a big green line there, so let's see if I can say my cars dot. Whoops, I need to do something like, yeah, should be able to do my cars dot. Please wait. Oh, okay. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, look at all these. And let's just try and do the name of a car, model name. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just do name of manufacturer. And let's do something just simple like Ford. Now, if you remember right, that's out of our vehicles that we're seeing that. And then if we do my cars dot set model, okay, and we'll just say a Mustang. Okay. And then let's see if we go here, we can say system.out.print line. Whoops, I don't need that. My cars dot get manufacturer. Come on. Get system. What's my cars? Excuse me, geez. And there you go. So that's the basic format. Okay. Now it's the question of how much of this do we want to control at the carpenter level, let's say, versus the rental would be, let's say this is the industrial or the engineering guy, and then or at the architect level. Okay, so we can control all this stuff. I mean, the lowest level is that we're doing it, the carpenter's deciding everything. So he'd be down at this rental level here. Now this isn't the user, right? The user is somebody that's going to run this program when it starts and puts in the data they want to put in. Okay. So if we go here, see we have these sets and gets. Start mileage. Okay. So we could do this. Let's see, set start mileage and we could at this point get rid of this. Come down here and then put right here. Okay. So we do that. Then we come here and we do and I need to build a constructor, don't I? Or import a scanner. I put my import my scanner here. And I can instantiate that up here. Private final scanner. Gone in. To a new scanner. System.in. Now I got a scanner that's good through this whole thing. So then I got if not con in dot as next int. And then tab. And just copy this one. Paste it in here. Maybe change this to re-enter. Clear our con in. And then come down here. And change this to okay, so then this would be just oh, I need a variable name here. What did I do? Oh, there it is. Okay, while, oh no. Outside of that, we need an integer, right? Integer equal to con in next int, and then so this is a void, so it's going to be my cars dot. Did I instantiate? No, I didn't. I can do that. So I'm not going to do my, well, what do I want to do here?
Wouldn't the user input just be start mileage and then instead of miles?
Oh, it's built right in this one, isn't it? I thought it was in rent a wreck. So this one will just be, yeah. So we can just set it on this one. Because those are private. Start. There we go. So we got that. So now if we go over to run a rec, then we can go here. We just say my cars dot set mileage, I think it is. No. What will it be? Yeah. Oh, set start mileage there. Okay, and then we can go here, here. And see if that works. That seems to work. Let's try it if we screw it up. Okay, so that works. So in that case, we're controlling it at the carpenter level, or no, it would be in the rent-a-wreck, at the engineer level, let's say. We could control some stuff out here. You know what? This string year built, why can't we make that just int year built? Or do we want to leave it as string? You know what? I am going to leave it as string. So just let's screw around with that for a minute. So if we go to year built, where's it at? Set year built. Okay. So if we come there and we put in rid of this. Now again, there's ramifications against that. Okay. That means I can't call it and give it a value. It has to come here and you have to input the value. Okay. So here, we're just going to have something like, I'm just going to do this string year to start out with. And then, again, I will need a, to go over here, go to Reynolds for a minute. Control C that. Come over here to vehicles, pop it in here. Yep. And this is, now watch what happens here. If I hit OK, boom, it automatically puts that in for me. I never showed you that before. It'll always, if it's dependent on something, it'll try and put it in for you. So now I got something called con in. Where was my year built? There it is, string year. And then year is equal to con in. Try this, do year is con in. I might have to look some of this up. I haven't done it in a while. Con in dot next. And then if you're what is it? Value of string. All right, integer question. Be careful here. Sometimes it will not get the numeric value. This is what I want. Integer dot value of. Integer dot value of. I misspelled that. Integer. Come on. Integer value of string. Oh. Okay, I can't do that. Okay, that's all right. Okay, let's take care of this one first. Tell you. So if we do something like that, then we can one, two. Why is it doing that? It's not equal. Oh, I got duh. Don't say anything, you guys. Do I really need that? What if I just did this instead? That's better. for something like int count is equal to 0. Count less than. Okay, so if I got that, then here, just put now I didn't check for this.
So you have two do loops.
I do. This one here. I have one do loop. Oh, I do got two do loops. Okay. So do this. What is valid? Is that under the vehicle name? So maybe I don't need this outer one. Hang on. I think I might be okay like that, huh? Okay, let's see if this works. So let's go all the way back over to our run-a-rec and see if we can like cars dot set year built. There it is. And then we'll say here, there it is. All right, so let's see what happens. So if I put in 2020, it works. Let's see what happens if we put in something else though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, what happened there? Oh, because I know why. Vehicles, okay. Because it checks to see here and it just turns it to true if it's valid. But if this is false, so this has to be inside another loop or a if statement. If is valid. Don't need is true there. And then 1, 2. And then that goes in there. And there should be another one here. Do goes there. If no, that's the wrong spot, Doug. Backspace. If is valid. And then we go in here, do our for loop. Then there needs to be another one here. Why is it doing that? Oh, because I didn't put in one up here, that's why. There we go. Okay, so now that goes in there. This comes back out to there. Okay, let's try her again. All right, so we get 10 here, and then we'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is not a valid year. Oh, I don't have another prompt. Okay, that's fine. So if I do 2020 here, boom, that works. Okay, so if it comes here, this needs to be inside my do. You know what? This whole thing needs to be inside my do. Don't really matter. Okay. Let's move this out. Put it up here. Okay.
You're just extending out the do loop layer.
Yeah. I'm just going out here. Oh, the is valid has to be outside though, or it won't see it down here. So we got to move it outside. Oh, come on. There. Oh, and now years outside. So I did have it right to start with. That's crazy, Doug. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's not valid. Okay. A, B, C, or whatever. That's not valid. Come on. That looks good. Now, again, I could go further on and control what years can be put in. But right now, we're just controlling that it's a number and that it's 4 digits long. Okay. So now we're controlling that one, we're controlling all the way back here in vehicles. So whoever instantiates from this has no choice. If they're going to put a year in, this is the only way to get it in because we got rid of where you could put it in right there. Okay, we got rid of that.
So you don't need like the this dot year built thing?
Where? No, I don't, because I don't have a, if I did this, and that I did it, then see here, now I'm in trouble because it thinks it's this year built. Now, I could do this. Let's see, how would I do that? You can't do that. Yeah. If I brought something, they'd have to provide something, and we don't want to do that. So we're going to cut that out and just leave it out. And then the only year built is the one up here. So you're right, I don't need this. I mean, I could put it in front of it, watch, and it wouldn't change anything. There you go. But if I don't put it in, and there's not a year built in this module, which would override that, the scope of that year built is up here. And you can see it's highlighted. When I highlight it here, it'll be highlighted down there. I hope you understand that, right? Anytime I declare, if I was to name, even if it wasn't up here, if I put in right here, now, this one here is only good inside here. It would never make it up to here. They're two different variables. Okay, because this one would take over. But we don't want that. We want it to get up to the top. Or I could do this, year built here, make all my years in here year built, and then down here I would have to put this year built. If you understand what I'm saying. In other words, I could change this to year built. Like that. And this here. Okay, so that goes there. And then if I do that, if I put that in there, then they're going to have to put something in there, and I don't want that.
Okay. None of my setters that I declared in my main program.
Hang on 1 second. Hang on.
All right.
Let me undo what I just did there. Get rid of this. All right. What were you saying?
None of my setters that I declared in my main function, so like, or my main program, so like my cars dot set manufac name, they're my set manufacturer name, set manufacturer model,
Yeah.
and set year built are all red.
Okay. Let's go over to your rentals.
Okay.
And right here, type super.
That's what I thought. It's there. Super parentheses semicolon. Yeah, that's what I have.
Okay. Hang on a second then. I still have, oh no, I don't have it here. Okay, so let's see, what else could it be? Do you have extends vehicles here?
Public class rentals extends. Nope, I don't. So, yeah, I think that's it. Oh, it made the whole line red now. So,
I mean, you have it named vehicles or vehicle?
vehicles, plural.
So now what line is all red? Over in your rent-a-wreck?
In my main program, that's where the red is showing up. It's
right here?
line 17. Your line 19 and 20.
Okay, so erase that line and type my cars dot and see what comes up. Do you see a set? Dave?
Yeah, I got it now. So why did it not work before?
Because you didn't have your extends vehicle in here.
Okay, so deleting it and retyping it kind of made it work.
Well, you didn't have it at first, did you?
I had my cars dot set manufacturer name.
No, I mean right here.
Correct.
Yeah. So you got to have that or it can't see this over here. You have to have this super in here. And then you have to have the extends here for it to be able to see that super class. Okay. Hello?
Yep, got it.
All right. So again, I think you see, we have different levels where we could control stuff. We could go over to our rent-a-wreck here. And what was something else? And again, I'm just doing this as an example. I'm not promoting that you should do this, okay? I'm just saying that I want to show you 3 different places that we could control this program from. We could put here, let's see, how do I want to do that? Blah, 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 blah. We need to put another con in up here. Got to add static here. Okay. Da, 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 da. So this is an example of controlling it at this level. Let's see here. So we get that. And then I can do this. What is that? Why am I getting that? Come on. What's going on? Oh, this is what's going on. Okay, that's better. No, want that. I guess this should be inside of there. Will that work? Let's try it. Oh, I didn't print it out. Okay, that works. And that works. So there's examples of 3 different places I put validations. And it would be up to you as the overall designer to decide, at this point anyway, on which ones we're going to control what. But in the real world, you might have the architect come to this one for vehicles and say, okay, what's important to me is, I don't know. What do I got up here? The first 2 and maybe the number of cylinders and transmission. Okay. So I'm going to control those here. The number of doors and capacity and color, I'll leave that to somebody later on to control. Then I can go over here to rentals and decide which ones I want to control here. Okay. And I could even control the ones over here in vehicles. Just like I just now, from Rent-A-Wreck over here, I'm controlling the transmission, which is really over in, is that in vehicles? Yeah. So all the way from here, I'm going back through rentals and into vehicles to control this transmission down here. Okay. Now to do that, I'd have to leave this char in here. I can't take that out of there because then that would wreck this over here. I wouldn't be able to call this right here when I'm calling it. Okay, so that's basically my song and dance. What I would like you guys to do to finish this for the week would be to go in and create at least 2 vehicles. Vehicle 1 or rental 1 and rental 2 or something like that. Or you can have my cars 1 and my cars 2, but you should have, a good percentage of the attributes. Don't just pick attributes from rentals or attributes from vehicles. And of course, something I didn't cover, I could add new attributes in here, right? Yes, no? I might want to add something to this list. Like I could come over here and say, I might want to have something like, Is it available right now? Is it checked in or is it not checked in? Oh, this has to say static here. Sorry. Oops, what happened here? I put it above the. Come on, Doug, didn't do that. Private, yeah, Doug. Private. Pretty soon I'll learn how to type. And then I'd probably want to go here now. Let's see, private, void. Go outside here. Insert code. Setters and getters. And is available. Generate. And there you go. Indent those. And those are my setters and getters here. So just another place I can control from. So my hope is that you're kind of getting the idea of how flexible this is, how many people would be involved, how many places that you can, different actors can have, how you can control access to your different classes. Okay, so that's basically my song and dance today. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and stop.